Donald Trump continued his strange tradition of these rallies in states where he cannot win. He is in Minnesota, and the last poll that came out for Harris versus Trump showed that Kamala Harris is in the lead by at least 10 points. That man is not winning Minnesota. Before we get into the video, if you could please like the video. It is the best way to get this in front of people. We need to make sure this message gets across to as many Americans as possible. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
There are just over 100 days left in the race for the White House. And for the first time tonight, we're getting a picture of where Minnesotans stand with Kamala Harris now the presumed Democratic nominee. Chief Local Reporter Tom Hauser has the results from our latest KSTP Survey USA poll.
Vice President Kamala Harris received extensive media coverage this week as the presumptive new Democratic presidential nominee. That drumbeat of mostly positive coverage of Democrats uniting behind her appears to have boosted prospects for Democrats to win in Minnesota, at least for now. Our new KSTP Survey USA poll, conducted Tuesday to Thursday, shows Harris with a 10-point lead over Republican Donald Trump, 50% to 40%.
Isn't that beautiful? That is a beautiful sight to behold. So there is no way that Trump can run at those margins. Now, before Biden dropped out, it was looking like the map was expanding. Trump could win New Mexico, Minnesota, Virginia was opening up. And this is one of the reasons why Biden ended up dropping out, because he really saw that there was no path for him and Kamala really had a shot. And so the fact that a woman who is a woman of color, of Indian and Black descent, is pulling numbers like this is, to me, a beautiful sight to behold and just shows how far we have gone. So Trump is in a rally right now. He is making a fool of himself, and he is somehow thinks he's still running against Joe Biden. Look at this clip.
Sarcasm doesn't work when you have a crooked press. You know, when I imitated him, because Biden, and I don't want to waste a lot of time, because it's over now, right? He's gone. I told you he would be. I told you he wasn't going to make it. I told you.
If he's not going to make it, why are you still talking about him? Trump is so confused about what to do in this moment. His polls are shrinking. His old age is now a focal point of this election. Kamala is rising. A smart, young, accomplished woman of color is attacking him and winning. And so he's just going to go to what he knows best, and that's attacking Biden. But it's not working for him. He even talked about Hunter Biden. Watch this.
Where's Hunter? Remember the sign we did? Where's Hunter? That became, remember that one? I said, where's Hunter? The next day, my people are doing shirts. Where's Hunter? That was the big one.
So it feels like, here's what I'm going to compare this to. It feels like he's a man who was captain of a football team, and it's been 6 years since he graduated high school. Everyone has moved on with their lives. They have big, exciting lives. He's still in his hometown thinking about the big game. That's what it feels like. It feels like he cannot move on from the peak that he had, and now that he actually has to work for it, he doesn't want to have to do it. He wants to rely on his old tropes that worked up until 6 days ago, and he doesn't want to move on. If you're a Democrat, this is a great sign. If you're a Republican, I would be scared, because he is clearly not prepared for what's about to come next. We got 100 days to go, and this man is not ready. For these next two clips, I want you to pay attention, because he bombs. He tries to go after Kamala Harris, and the crowd is not having it. They don't like it. They're completely silent. So watch this, because he doesn't know how to handle her.
And now we're replacing him with, worse than he is, a dangerous person who's not smart. You know, she couldn't pass a law exam, right? Have you heard that? These are minor details. She couldn't pass a bar exam. She took the bar exam. She couldn't pass it. She thought she'd never be able to pass it. This is what we have wanting to be up. Other than that, she's a very fine woman.
They didn't say anything. Zero reaction. Watch this one.
Savage criminals to prey on our youth and our people, not just youth. Elderly people, too, are tremendous targets, should ever be trusted with power. Again, she has no clue. She has no clue. She's evil. Savage criminal.
Wait, did you see this girl? Look at her. She is so bored.
Prey on our youth and our
Look
people,
at her.
not just youth.
she's thinking about what can I do next. He definitely brought her and was like,
Again,
you're coming to the Trump rally. She's like, did I have to?
She's evil.
So Trump is at his peak. Last week was his peak. He was just coming off the RNC. We didn't realize how much of a weirdo and freak J.D. Vance is. Trump is weird, trended all day today on Twitter. And the Democrats are heading in towards our convention. You get a convention bump when that happens. So Donald Trump, I really do believe the last week was his peak. He can never clear 50%. He is getting votes taken away from him from RFK Jr. and he's throwing rallies in states where he cannot win. That was a ridiculous thing for him to do. It was a complete waste of time and money. And so I appreciate it because I get to point out that he is an idiot, but it's really not a great campaign strategy for him to be in Minnesota. And on top of that, he is now the old one in the race. He's going to be 78. He will be the oldest person. First off, he's the oldest person to ever run for president. Secondly, he will be the oldest, if he is elected, which he won't be, but if he were to be, he would be the oldest person to ever be president by the time it would be over. So I don't think the American people want that. I love Kamala's messaging of like, we're looking towards the future. Let's not go back. It's very forward looking. It's hope. It's change. It's everything that the Democrats should be about. And it's everything that Americans want. By and large, Americans want progress. They don't want to revert to the past. And stuff like this only reminds people who Trump really is. And Americans already rejected him once. Are you telling me he's done anything to make them want to bring him in? No, they're going to reject him again. And we are going to have the first ever female president, the first ever black woman president, the first ever Indian American president. And it's only going to be because people like you have shown up and done the work. So I cannot wait for that moment. We have got 100 days as of today to get there. We will get there. And we are going to do everything we can to make sure that these rallies become a thing of the past.